the host of the Gridiron.
All right, welcome to the Gridiron, baby. If you can give this video a thumbs up and maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking awesome. If you subscribe to my, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live, if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. It's totally free of charge. What do you got to lose? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you want to help support my channel, description box below, very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. And then finally, just below that link, it's another link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, The Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,500 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I got internet access, I am putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants, The Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. Well, it's just, it's like, it's simply amazing. Absolutely, it's just like every time we find, wow. I mean, you can also, I want to say, find a new way to lose, right? But obviously, things that happened during the game helped us to lose. But at the end of the game, when we had a chance to tie, right? You win by the block, you die by the block. Well, the same thing that we did. Right, against Seattle, which worked so well for us against Seattle, right, wound up working here and wound up being pretty much the same darn thing. What we did compared to against Seattle, compared to what the Saints did here, was pretty much the same exact thing. And Dave even admitted it, afterwards and all and everything. It's pretty much like they either pushed the guys or held the guys down, right? And that somehow that 952-pound guy got over, right, and deflected the ball. It was a little different because he deflected it. The ball still went past the line of scrimmage, but unfortunately it was wide and short of the mark. And all the other one though was a block. Picked up by Isaiah Simmons, and he not Isaiah Simmons. He's the one who blocked it. Bryce Ford Wheaton's the one who ran it back. So that but it was pretty much the same thing. A lot of that. I don't remember if it was just Sexy or it was Sexy and somebody else, but Sexy was kind of the one like the holding or pushing down their linemen so they couldn't get up, right? So that gave Bryce Ford Wheaton the ability. But the thing was, it was kind of, I don't want to say comical, because obviously it almost cost us, because we would have gone to overtime, quite possibly, right? And, you don't know. With the way these offenses were going, you don't know if anybody was going to score in overtime. But, it doesn't mean that, just because we made the field goal that, of course, we were going to win in overtime. Well, this is the Giants, and we're at MetLife Stadium. Giants and MetLife Stadium don't necessarily agree with one another, So, it doesn't necessarily mean the Giants would have won, but, it's just kind of the same thing. I guess they saw something. That's what these guys do. They can see something that they can exploit. They try to do that, Now, obviously, the Giants ought to try to do something to try to combat that. But Dable said at the end in the presser afterwards that I think they believe they tried to do somewhat similar, same kind of thing earlier on. And then the Giants made a couple adjustments or whatever. They're never going to tell you what they are. But to try to combat that, but I guess it just didn't work out. So we'll have to try to go back to the drawing board and come up with something a little bit different, because it's just once again it just absolutely let's go down memory road here. This just obviously let's inflict some more pain on this. Oh my God! Let's see. All right, let's see. 2024. Some of it is, obviously coaching. Some of it's players. Some of it's this. Some of it's that. But obviously you take away pretty much, a couple games. So there was 3 games we got totally annihilated in. Right, the Bucks, the Eagles, and the Vikings. But other than that, you take away, we lost 3 points to the Commanders. We didn't have a kicker. We lost by 20-15 to the Cowboys. We lost by 5 points to the Cowboys. We lost at 10 points to the Bengals at home. With 2 minutes to go, I think they scored their touchdown, right after the 2-minute warning. So basically, with 2 minutes to go in the game, I think it was a 2-minute warning, we were only down by 3 points. And if we could have held them out of the end zone, right, maybe they kick a field goal, it's 13-7, we still maybe have a chance. But then we got blown out by the Eagles. We lose by 8 points to the Steelers. The punt return we had for the touchdown. Instead of, diving in deep into each game, but so that's another 1-score game. We lost by 5 points to the Commanders, another 1-score game. And we lost to the Panthers, another obviously one-score game in the overtime. Then we lost, 1-score game to the Cowboys. Obviously the pick 6, right? And here another 1-score game, and we were this close to tying it up. It's like what is going to happen this week to make us lose? Next week we're playing the Ravens, so that's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one. Lamar is going to be because I think they didn't have a bye week this week. I think, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Check 2024. Baltimore. All right, Ravens. All right, let's see here. Yeah, and their last game they lost to the Eagles. So Lamar's going to be pissed off, and he's coming to town. Although the last time they were here, we beat them. That was an incredible game. Very exciting. We got the strip sack at the end of the game and everything from Kayvon to win. That was, obviously, very magical season, for the most part, 1922. Yeah, magical season. 2022. I'm sorry. So, but the Ravens come here, and so obviously they're 8-5. They're looking for a win, right? One thing was, we'll talk a little bit more about this. I was very shocked, but one thing Lamar was, his mom was pissed off at him for not running enough against the Eagles. Maybe he should have ran more. Maybe they might have won the football game. But so look for him to be, they're fighting for their playoff lives. They're a team expected to at least have a good competing chance at the Super Bowl this year. They got Lamar Jackson. He's maybe not the greatest passer in the world. He's a very good passer. He maybe not the upper echelon, but he's a very good passer. Obviously a phenomenal athlete. But it's like every year, he just keeps falling short every year. So, but they need, they got 5 losses. They don't want to have too many more losses, or they may not make the playoffs. And have the Baltimore Ravens, right, with him there. Not make the playoffs. That would be a real slap in the face. So look for the Ravens to come in here pretty pissed off, right? And they're rested up. So we'll have to wait and see. But it was just it's just like, how are we going to lose another football game? It's simply amazing. You're teetering on. It's like, the Giants are coming. They're down 14-3. Took them 56 minutes to score a touchdown. I mean, we're not talking. Once again, I know we don't have our tackles. I don't even know what you want to call him. Was Locke the third string quarterback, the second string? Who the heck knows? He's the backup quarterback, right? In there, right? But 56 minutes to score a touchdown. But it's 14-3. It's like, I really, it's almost more enjoyable watching paint dry, right? 14-3, finally scored a touchdown. 4 minutes to go in the game, and it's like, then we had to go for the 2-point conversion. That I fully agree on. Some of these other times when we're going for 2 points, but and there's a ton of time left in the game. We don't, we haven't been. I don't know. Have we gotten a 2-point conversion all year? Have we? We did today. So I mean, but I totally agree with it. We're down 14-3, 4 minutes left to go. Score a touchdown, get to 2 points if you can. That's a field goal game. It's like, so that happened. It's like, oh my God, we're only down by 3, and then and finally, obviously the drive at the end of the game, but they just start. I'm like, and then it's like 4th and 10. It's like, here we go. All right, and I'm like, 25-yard run. It's like, whoa, and then it's almost, it's it's like, do I want us to pull this out, or do I want us something to happen so we wind up losing, so we still only have 2 wins? Because I mean, it'd be great to win the game, yeah, but it's like, I mean, when the season's over with and you say we have 3 wins, it's kind of, and we're picking, I don't know, whatever, third, it's like, do we really have to beat this? I mean, you can't tell it to these players in the locker room, the coaches and all that. They're there to win. But it's like, we just pulled out a meaningless game against the Saints, and now we're picking third instead of second, or So, but I mean, just that come down to, it's like, I mean, Locke made the good one, that good scramble there. That I don't remember how much time was in the, whatever, but there was the one he scrambled, and if he just kept running straight. I mean, they showed a line on TV. The line's here for first down. Locke's scrambling, and if he just keeps running straight, he gets the first down. Of course, he's on the field. He doesn't see a line where the first down's at, but he should know about where it's at. If he's on top of things. Well, so somehow he's running, and then all of a sudden, I don't want to go this way and get a first down. Let me go sideways and then get tackled over here a couple yards short. It's like, oh, it's just like, what are we gonna do? And it's there were obviously some things that we repeated a little bit in this game. And we're going to talk about this, but you can't say the run defense was bad. I mean, I don't know what I don't know what's going. It's like, do we really even need Dexter Lawrence in there? Just kidding. But I mean, obviously, we're going to go over this too. The penalties. I mean, we're going to go over that in a little bit, but it's just every time it's just like, how are we going to lose? So we're 2-11. So eight of the games, we were right there. Of course, obviously, you can almost say in almost every one of those games, the lack of an offense really did us in. A lot of those games, the lack of an offense really, really did us in. And not so much lack of an offense, but you can also say this. I mean, this is like another one of the. It's like, it's like how many times these slow starts. It's like, oh my God. not that we're necessarily always like, we're down 35 nothing at halftime or something, but it's like, what, and once again, let me, I mean, obviously we're not scoring many points, period. So I don't know. I don't think Pro Football Reference has this figured out yet. But what were we going into the game? Okay, we averaged 15.3 points per game. So obviously that's going to come down a little bit. So we're probably averaging 15, maybe 14.9, 14.8 or something like that, points per game. But I mean, if you look, right? Okay, again, obviously the Buccaneers, we were getting shut out at halftime. I think the Cowboys were actually had, was it 10 points at halftime? Yeah, we had 10 points at halftime. Right? So, which still, I mean, which is not really a lot of points, but for the Giants in the first half, that's a ton of points. But against the Buccaneers, we were getting shut out at halftime. Getting the game before that, Carolina, we were getting shut out, I believe, at halftime, right? Yeah, we're down 10-0 at halftime. Let's see, previous game. I mean, so many games, we just start slow. Yeah, Giants had 7 points in the first half against the Commanders. We were down 21-7. We only lost we're down by 14 points. We only lost by 5. Let's see here. What else? What we got here? The Steelers. We scored 9 points. We had the all field goals. Yeah. But I mean, if you start looking at it too, it's like, the past. What we got here? Okay, let me go. Wow. I said the past. Let's see, the Saints, the Cowboys, the Bucks, the Panthers, Commanders, and hold on, this. The Steelers, the Eagles. Let me go. Can I go to Bengals too, or no? Yeah, and the Bengals, because we scored in the third quarter against the Bengals, right? So if you look at this, our last 8 games, we've scored 2 touchdowns in the first half. So this week, obviously, we didn't score a touchdown in the first half. Cowboys, we scored a touchdown in the first half. Buccaneers, we got shut out. Carolina, we shut out in the first half. Washington Commanders, we scored a touchdown in the first half. Down 21-7 now, right? Against Pittsburgh, we scored 3 field goals in the first half, so we still 2 field goals, 2 touchdowns. Against the Eagles, we scored 3 points, so obviously we scored a touchdown. Against the Bengals, we scored a touchdown in the third quarter. So in the last, whatever it was, 8 games, I said, we've scored 2 touchdowns in the 2 touchdowns in the first half, in the last 8 games. I mean, there was an article I saw. It's just obviously it talks about the slow start for the Giants. And it talks about, their plays. Here we go. The inept offense. The Giants started 4-4. First half drives at their own 49-yard line or better. I mean, midfield or better. It's like field position was on their side throughout the first half. You got to take advantage of that. They didn't. As the beat-up defense consistently played well. It was like, then again, I mean, obviously you're not, when you're talking to the Saints, right? You're not talking the greatest show on turf. Although, you'd be hard pressed to believe otherwise. After the first 2 games of the season, they put up over 40 points the first 2 games of the season. Now, it was against Carolina, I believe, and the Cowboys in Dallas. But the Saints put up over 90 points in the first 2 games of the season. And I'm like, damn, this Saint team is on a roll. Look look at these guys. And then after that, the next week, they only scored like 12 points against the Eagles. And if it wasn't for a 70-yard touchdown run by Saquon, they would have beat the Eagles. But I can't stand the Eagles. But anyway. But I mean, we're not talking about a juggernaut defense. I mean, it's not, the same. They're not that really good. They're giving up like 23, 24 points a game. Right? So we had 4 drives. It's just in the first half, like almost at midfield. The Giants managed just 3 points on those 4 drives. This is the second week in a row where New York's offense did little with great field position. For the second week in a row, the Giants were heavily penalized. We're going to go over this here. We're going to talk. Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the special teams play and the penalties. They were just absolute freaking killers. But we're going to go over these drives here in the first half. Obviously, we got we got the field goal, but so let's see. So we got so the Giants, right? I mean, Smith Marset, tell you what, he's doing pretty good. Maybe if we don't get Gunner back, or maybe we get Gunner and we bring Smith Marset back or whatever, maybe have those guys battle out for punt returner. Because, I'll tell you what, Smith, I mean, I'm not saying the guy's freaking Deion Sanders or anything like that, but, he's doing a decent job. The Giants, when it got the Smith Marset caught the ball at, it was a short punt, 35 yards. This is the first drive that the Giants got the ball. They got it at their, Marset caught it at the 44. He got pushed out of bounds. He got an 8-yard run, 8-yard return. I'll take that, right? So we're starting at the Nolans 48-yard line. Giants, I mean, somehow, we ran 7 plays, got -3 yards somehow. Well, actually, because a lot of it was the intentional grounding. But let's see here. So an incomplete pass. I did like the second pass that was incomplete because it was deep. That's why I like take a shot deep, stretch out the defense a little bit, stop it with the frickin' dinking and dunking all the time. Take even if it's incomplete or whatever, take a shot deep. I like that, right? Yeah. Then we got, of course, then we have there was a completion to Wandale Robinson, but one of the 3,000 penalties we had on Azudu. Let's see. Locke scrambled the 15 yards, and he just got the first down, right? He just ran out of bounds, just got it. Then we got with 2 yards, an incomplete pass. Then he was the intentional grounding, and it was on 4th down. So we had 4th and 8. That was another one of the kind of questionable things. Is that I mean I don't know if there's a swirling wind down there or something, but I mean usually Gano. I mean unless he got a lot weaker or something. We're talking 2022, but 2022 to do was freaking automatic. It was just like almost like 55-yarder. Yeah, Graham, go get him, baby. And you can just you go out, go grab a beer, or whatever, go to the bathroom, come back, and the Giants had 3 points on the board. It's just so I don't know if something was going wrong or whatever. I mean, instead of trying like a 53, 54-yard field goal, we went for it. We wound up getting intentional grounding, so we lost 15 yards. But I don't know why we didn't try a field goal on that one there. But, I mean, I said unless Gano got a lot weaker, I don't know. But so then the thankfully, right, that New Orleans, they missed the field goal, but then we had the then we had it. Let's see, after they missed, we started at our own 43 because they tried. I think they had it at 35 or 36. The guy went back to the 43, right? And that's where he tried the field goal at. So that's where the Giants once again, good field position. You're starting out, on the 43-yard line. You only need a couple first downs, and you're in field goal range, right? So we went 3 plays, 8 yards. But unfortunately, I guess the one thing is that with the long scoring drive, right? The hammer kicks to the 2-yard line. So you figure, right? Oh man, we got him pinned down. We can play the field position game. Yeah, nope. I mean, but that was basically about like the only time where you could just like look at the defense, like, what the he done? But it was like, was it 9 plays they went? I mean, 98 yards. I mean, right, 98 yards, 9 plays. But then the Giants got the ball. Let's see, after the kickoff, they got it their own 32. All right, but once again, Smith-Marset. You kick it to the 2. Smith-Marset runs it back for 25 yards. So, the guy might be a keeper for next year. Let's hope. Not sure what's going to go on with Gunner or not, but keep it on Smith-Marset because the guy, obviously, right, he's bringing back punt returns and kickoff returns. So, and the guy brought one back to the house. Of course, it didn't count, but so. That's one of the few things we got. You start looking at, feel good stories. What do we have to feel good about going forward, right? Okay, so then New Orleans goes 3 plays for 3 yards, right? Then they punt. So then the Giants once again start our own 49. At least, thankfully, we get the field goal out of this one. But we go 7 plays, 26 yards. Okay, thankfully, at least we got a field goal. Then, let's see here. Oh, yeah, thankfully, we were on this one, the fake punt. Thankfully, we were on that one. Because a lot of times, stuff like that catches you off guard. But no, we did a good job of that one. Right. That's a good spot to do it when you're at about midfield or so. So you got to get, I ain't got a problem with that. With the Saints trying to go for it on a fake punt at midfield, I ain't got no problem with that at all, going for it. But once again, now the Giants start at the Saints' 48-yard line. What do we get out of it? Absolutely nothing. We go 3 plays, 6 yards. Tracy for 1 yard up the middle. Tracy for 5 yards, an incomplete pass, and then a punt. Right. Let's see. And then let's see. Okay, so then the Giants get the ball back. They started their own 49-yard line. 3 plays, 1 yard, and a punt. I mean, once again, you're starting out at midfield. You get absolutely nothing from it. That's the difference between the good teams and the bad teams. Right? The good teams, they make something out of it. They make you pay for it. Right? They maybe not necessarily drive down the field and score a touchdown, but when they're starting in midfield, they make you pay. They give you, or they at least get themselves a field goal opportunity. I mean, all of these wasted chances by the Giants, all these, starting in midfield and the whole, time after time after time in the first half, and you come away with 3 freaking points. Another slow start. We came to score a touchdown in the first half. And I know, I get it and all of that. Our tackles are missing. We're on a second or third string quarterback, however you want to look at it, right? Then the Giants started their own 37. What do we do? 5 plays, 14 yards. I mean, the slow starts. Slow. Absolutely, just absolutely killers. Absolutely killers. Aaron, I'm using the Giants to teach my kids life lessons about supporting things sometimes, even though everything is wrong and your team sucks, at least you're loyal to. That's right. Yeah. So I live down here by Philadelphia, so it's not easy wearing Giant stuff, Giant jackets, or a Giant hat. Or it's not easy. Let me tell you what. Especially because a lot of the fans around here are just total jackalopes, and yeah, I can't stand the Eagles, but it's not easy. It is not easy. Let me tell you what. But it makes it all the more exciting, when you finally turn it around. I'm getting up there in age, so I don't know if I'll be alive to see us turn it around or not. But I can always go back to the 70s. I grew up watching the football in the 70s when we went from 64 to 80. We had 2 winning seasons. We didn't go to playoffs, nothing. So from 70, I remember the first game I remember watching was in 70. From 70, to 80, we had 2 winning seasons, 1970, 72, but all those other seasons, we had losing seasons, no playoffs, nothing. And then we got Lawrence Taylor, and obviously Parcells, Belichick, and all those other guys. And we know what happened in 86. So when you finally, it makes it all the sweeter. So we're not one of those jackwagons, right? Who it's like, hey, I'm going to start watching football. Who's a good team? The Chiefs are good. Yeah. Do they win all the time? Yeah, Chiefs win all the time. Oh, okay. I'm a Chief fan. Woo, go Chiefs. Woo. All those other jack wagons, obviously going back, a little bit in time, but the Patriot fans, they can live in Saskatchewan or something. Yeah, I like American football. Who's a good football team? Who's good? Oh, the Patriots are good. Tom Brady, they're winning Super Bowls all the time. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I'm a Patriot fan. Go Patriots. Woo! They don't even know where New England's at or not like that. But, but they become, what I mean? So it's nice, being a true blue Giant fan, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's the payoff. It is. When finally you turn things around, and you start beating the teams that used to beat you all the time, and now you're laughing at them and they stink and all that, and you're winning championships and they're not. It's like, oh, it feels so good, And the thing is, what the Giants did, which is really cool, was because it's like we kind of kept the momentum going a little bit. The 2 times we won the 2 Super Bowls, right? We won in 86, 4 years later. We won in 90. We won in 07. 4 years later, we won in 11. You know what I mean? So we kind of want them close together and all that. You know what I mean? So it makes it feel so good. But tell you what, it's just, from 2012 to now, it's like, it's horrible, man. Because it's like, you got, it's like, it's almost like, unless something like we got a miraculous turnaround 2, 3, 4, 5 games into the season, it's like you're just looking at this team. It's like, yep, let's look forward to the draft. Let's how much money we got to spend in free agency next season? What free agents can we bring in next year? Because this season's it's horrible. Whoa, damn, Japan! Oh my God, tough going for your Giants. Yep. Oh yeah, boy. Let me tell you what. Whew. I'll tell you what, tough. Speaking of tough going for the Giants, I'm glad you brought that up, man. So there was a lot of Giants. The place was packed. The place, it was a little difficult, but the place was actually sold out today. Why? All right. Hey, damn. Why? I got Japan. Hey, I'm in the United States. Well, I'm in New Jersey, the continental United States, I say. But little did they know the place was actually sold out, right? Except the problem is that a lot of the fans showed up as empty seats. Now, actually, those empty seats there, there are actual fans in there. You just can't see them because they showed up as empty seats. But it's kind of interesting. It's kind of funny because with this here, the fans they're showing their displeasure. Now this week coming up with Lamar Jackson here and all that, they might have some more rear ends in the seats, because when you got a phenomenal talent like him, that obviously attracts a crowd. So Lamar is a special talent. So we might get some more fans in the stands maybe this weekend coming up than we did against here. But you can see that the fans are kind of showing their displeasure. Mr. Maurer definitely sees stuff like that and all. And I seen there was some pictures. Guys obviously had bags on their heads and all that stuff. But there was the plane that went flying around. I think it was 1978. I think it was that some people went and they rented out a plane or whatever and had them fly a banner. I think it was 78 or 79. And they said 15 years of bad football, we've had enough or something like that. Well, this time they had a plane flying around. And I'm not sure if Mr. Mara saw it or not, but I'm sure it was pointed out to him. Plane circles MetLife Stadium with a message to co-owner John Mara to fix the Giants' dumpster fire. Oh, yeah. Small plane circled MetLife Stadium roughly 90 minutes. So, what was it? Dable didn't really. I don't think Dable saw it, or he said he didn't see it, but he heard about it, I guess. But 90 minutes before the Giants hosted the New Orleans Saints on Sunday, urging the Giants co-owner John Mara to overhaul a team that has made the playoffs twice since winning the last Super Bowl. Mr. Mara, enough. Please fix the dumpster fire, read the message on a banner towed by the plane. Mara declined to comment. So, kicker Graham Gano, Brian Dable, rookie receiver Malik Neighbors, veteran receiver Darius Slayton, and linebacker Brian Burns all said that they didn't see the plane and banner. I mean, there's so many, things going on and all. I mean, and it was before the game. Says Slayton said the fans have a right to complain after one winning season since 2016. People have money and time to do stuff like that. It's that what they choose to do. That's what they choose to do, Slayton said. I really still don't know what they're talking about, Burns said after being told about the flyover, which started roughly 2 hours before the kickoff and lasted about 30 minutes. But I don't really have a comment on that. So Dable was asked about the fans calling for sweeping changes. He said, I'm disappointed we have 2 wins, he said, so we're just going to keep on grinding it out and try to keep developing these young players. It's, I saw a thing. It said, like a beer costs like $13 at the game. It's like, it's like, really, it costs some money to, and not everybody has a ton of money to throw around, but even when you do, it's like, why would you want to go to a game and just know you're going to see lousy football? That's why. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to some people. If you want it, I haven't looked, but I don't know what it costs to sit, good seats, lower level, 50-yard line or something, you're talking whatever. It could be quite hundreds of dollars. Of course, now we're talking the Giants, so the price of a ticket is coming down quite a bit, right? But, you could be talking hundreds of dollars if you're trying to take maybe your son with you or some, you're looking at maybe, you could be looking at maybe $1,000 for a couple of tickets. Obviously, if you're sitting way up high, I'm sure you can get them for really cheap. But it costs money if you're going to drive there for gas, for tolls. If you're going to park, it costs a lot of money to park your car. It's just, they rape you parking your car. I remember it used to be like $10. Obviously, I'm going back a couple of years there. It used to be like $10. Now you got to get like a parking pass. It's like $50 for a game. It's just like, just want to park my car. They just rape you, freaking everything. A beer is $13. Like, I can almost buy a case of beer for $13. I can buy a case of beer for 2 beers, what they're charging there. $26, I get myself a nice case of beer. They're $13 for beer. It's like, are you serious? I don't know what a bottle of water costs or peanuts or a hot dog or something like that. It's absolutely, it's a joke, absolute joke. I mean, and people are staying away. They're showing a message. See, the problem, is that, a lot of people say Mr. Mara's the problem because he's always obviously been involved, right? And, to some degree in the past bunch of hirings. We got no football here. And we go into pro basketball. There you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's good. That's good. I mean, some people, now this is just me because my son, he's a Cowboy fan. I don't know how that happened, but he's a Cowboy fan. So me and him, right? So we go to a Cowboy game each year. I got no skin in the game. This year every year we go to a Cowboy game. Every year the game is good. It's always close. This year we went out to Pittsburgh. We drove out to Pittsburgh and we watched, it was the Sunday night game. It got delayed because there was thunderstorms and rain and everything like that. So the game didn't start like, I forgot what it was, 9:30, 10 o'clock. So the game got over like 1:30 in the morning, but it was a really exciting game. It was close and all that. So we go on the road once a year. The year before that, we went to Miami. The Dolphins won on the last second field goal. This year, the Cowboys won in the final 30 seconds of the game. Dak threw a touchdown pass to Tolbert in the corner of the end zone. The Cowboys won 20-17. But I mean, to get decent seats, I don't want to sit in the corner. Yeah, you could, of course you could. But it's me and my son. We do one game a year. So to get into the center, you're looking at 400, 500, could be even more. It depends on how far down you want to go. But we were up a level. We were around the 35 or 40 yard line. So I forget, it was like 500 or so a seat, But then if you figure in the gas, if you're going to eat when you're there or whatever, I mean, you're talking, for one game, it's like maybe like a week's salary for one game. It's crazy, But I mean, like what you were pointing out, I was a fan of Dallas and stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, he was good, boy. I'll tell you, he was really, really good. Oh yeah, he used to kill the Giants. Man, he was special. He was like the first comeback. I mean, you were never out. If Roger Staubach was in the game, you were never out of the game. Never, ever, ever. What was the first pro game you went to? First pro game I went to was, I think it was like 1984. I went to high school games before. I went to a couple college games, but the first pro game was, I think it was 84. I went to Veteran Stadium and watched the Eagles and the Giants play. It was 84, 83 or 84. It was. The Eagles won. I could look it up. I think it was 24-14. Eagles won. But that was the first one I went to. Yeah. But I mean, when I went there, the tickets weren't that expensive. Then again, there wasn't, the salary cap and all that. So the ticket prices probably didn't start shooting up and everything. But the ticket prices were reasonable, everything. A beer might have been a couple dollars. It's like, okay, a hot dog was maybe $1 or $2 or something. But nowadays it's just ridiculous. It really is. Because the stadium gets a certain percentage of it. Now I'm not sure what the Giants' cut is, but the Giants get a certain percentage of the concessions. So if you sell a beer for $13, so say it costs $1 for the beer. So now there's $12. So I don't know if the stadium or whatever, or, whoever owns the stadium gets $6 of it and the Giants get the other $6. That I don't know. But a lot of it's, you're paying, you either the money is either going to line the owner's pockets and they don't need the money, or it's to pay the salaries of the players. So basically, one way or the other, you're basically paying the salaries for the players. I mean, the tickets, the ticket. I mean, it's like, I'm buying it. I'm buying a resold ticket. They sit in the upper level for $500. I know the face value of that ticket is not. You don't even get it. You don't even get a ticket anymore. It's not. You can't get a physical ticket anymore. It's on your phone. You know what I mean? So I don't even know what the face value of a ticket is to sit in the upper deck, right? But I know it's not $500. For me, it was Bengals, Rams, Virgil Carter. Oh, Virgil Carter. Oh, there you go. Good quarterback there, huh? Oh, my God. So, it's just the prices it's just absolutely ridiculous. And it's only going to get worse because as the salaries go up, things, a lot of it's also the TV revenue and all and everything. So that helps, with the salary cap going up. But the price of the tickets are really. For some people, it depends upon where you want to sit and this, that, and the other thing and all. If you find two really bad teams, you could find upper deck seats for probably $30 or so, $20 or But if you want to go to a good ball game and you want to sit, maybe reasonable seats, you might have to. You're going to bring a couple people there, and you might have to maybe a whole week's salary just to go see a football game. It's like, but today, as you saw, I showed you, there's a lot of empty seats there. So Mr. Mara's got some decisions to make. The thing is that, it's, he's not selling the team. I don't know if he'd bring somebody in, pay somebody to come in and I don't know. Help him out, make some decisions. I don't know. The thing is, he doesn't want to keep, churning through coaches and GMs, because that can be a problem. Because if you bring in a new GM and a new coach, first thing they're going to want to do is look at the roster. We got some guys there, but they're not my guys. We need to get new guys. So we got to get rid of a bunch of guys, bring in a whole new bunch of guys. And guess what? If it don't work, you go again, going through this whole thing again. So does he stay with Shane and Dable? Right? Because they've made some mistakes. Oh, yeah. They've made some mistakes. So, so it's like, Mr. Mara's like, do I want to stay with these guys? Because they've screwed some things up. They've had a couple of nice things, to their credit, there are a couple of nice things where I want to go through this all over again, or maybe get rid of Dable, keep Shane, bring in a new coach, so it's, it's almost like, he's almost in a no-win situation. If he brings in the right GM, and the right coach, okay, he might be onto something, but that's not always the easiest thing to do. With all the money from TV and sponsors, why do they have to stick it to the? Oh yeah, it's amazing. I heard, what the heck was it? I think it's in Atlanta. The guy in Atlanta, like a hot dog's $1. Like they don't make any money or hardly any money at all. I think it's Atlanta. Like a beer might be $1 or $2 or something like that. So I don't know if they make any money on that. That's Atlanta. Unfortunately, the other places don't, follow suit. You can see like maybe about 10 years from now, whatever, 10, 15, a beer is going to be like $20 for a beer. It's like, are you kidding me? If you got 5 friends with you, you get 5 beers, it costs you $100. It's like, are you serious? So, oh yeah, it's a shame. It just, unfortunately, that's why I like, one thing I like is I got the YouTube TV. I got the sports, the football, the Sunday ticket. So that way you can watch all the games. Every game that's on, you can watch them all from the comfort of your own home. It cost me, it was like $250, I think, for the whole season. So for the price of less than one nice football ticket, I got the Sunday ticket, and I can watch every football game, right? On Sunday, I can watch the Thursday game, the Sunday night game, the month. So I can watch all football, right, for like $250 for a season. So that's fantastic. I love that. I absolutely love that. It's fantastic. So, but I said the thing is with me and my son, it's just something special. We do it one time a year. Next year, I think the Cowboys are playing, I think, in Chicago and in Detroit. So we're going to go. We try to see a different stadium each year, right? So next year we're either going to go to Chicago or Detroit, one of those two. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's something special that me and my son do. But I mean, to go see the Giants play, it's like, hey, that's rough sledding. Let me tell you what. But at least talking about something good here. I'll tell you, I was shocked at this. Wow. Man, I mean, I came on one of the videos I did was, I was talking about Alvin Kamara, right? One of my videos was like, who's going to stop Alvin Kamara, right? Because he had I think 894 yards coming into the game, and he was averaging like a little over 4 yards a carry. And, Nacho was out, we got Durden in there. And, yeah, I mean, it's just like, who these guys, Sexy's not in there, obviously. And, Caracay's out. I was like, who the heck's going to stop, because they were averaging 130 yards a game. The Saints, let me see here. Pop it up. Here we go. All right. Rushing, average yards a game. 131 yards a game they're averaging. Alvin Kamara had 894 yards. So he was averaging 4.3. He was averaging 74.5 yards per game. But, I mean, the Giants haven't stopped anybody all year. I mean, for the most part. I mean, I don't know. I was almost like man, we're in trouble. They're just going to keep feeding this guy. I could easily see him getting well over 100 yards. And as a matter of fact, in the video I said, I said, look for Alvin Kamara because he had 894. Right? So I said he needs 106 yards to get 1,000. So I look for Alvin Kamara to get his 1,000 yards in this game. Right? No. Yeah. I mean, there was a couple of, little whatever you want to call it, the one touchdown they had where I can't remember who the guy was. Was it Kamara? Is he the one that scored? No, Miller. Where we stopped him. I mean, Miller had 10 carries of 32 yards, but how we hit him at the 3, right around there. And then we stood him up, and then, of course, his cavalry came and pushed him into the end zone. That was a little embarrassing, Miller, yeah. That was a little bit embarrassing. I remember Taysom Hill. I don't know, it was the last time we played him? I don't know if it was last year. I know there was one of the times when Taysom Hill got hit at the 2 or 3 yard line, something like that. And he almost powered his way into the end zone. One of our cornerbacks or somebody was trying to tackle him and he just couldn't. He just powered. It was just that was a little embarrassing. That was definitely a little bit embarrassing. But I mean, I was like, man, I don't even know how many passes Carr would have to throw. Just go back there and just keep handing the ball off. We can't stop anybody. We're not going to. I mean, not that the Saints had the greatest running attack in all football. Averaging 130 yards a game is pretty good. I'm saying, but Alvin Kamara is, he was averaging, I think it was 4.3 yards a carry. He gets, I think it was 17 carries a game. So what did he wind up here? He had 17, which is his average. I think it was his average was 17 carries, but 44 yards. His longest was 16. So that meant his other 16 carries, he had 28 yards. He averaged 1.5 yards a carry. Take away that 116-yard run. I mean, they carried the ball 33 times for 92 yards, 2.8 yards a carry. And you take away Derek Carr, who scrambled 2 times, or ran 2 times, right? So you take his, so they ran the ball 31 times for 80 yards, pretty much like the backs and all. But even you put Carr's couple runs in there, they ran 33 times for 92 yards. It's like, I mean, you look at, right? I mean, now some of these guys, these tackles are from special teams. But I mean, Jordan Riley, Ty Summers had a tackle, Stroman had a tackle, Elijah Chapman had 3 tackles, Durden was in there for 3 tackles, Isaiah Simmons had 3, Dory Jackson had 3, Kayvon had 3, Bresee with 4, Belton with 5, Elijah Garcia, he had 5, Tyler Newman, he was in there with 5, Pinnock had 6, Trey Hawkins with the interception, right? He had 6. Muasau, McFadden, the two. So I was shocked about that. I was very impressed about that because I was kind of like, one of the things is, if you can control the defensive tackles, maybe one of the guards or somebody gets to the second level and takes out the linebackers. Right? Because then we got a Caracase not in there, So we got McFadden and Muasau in there. It's like, oh man, this could be a long afternoon. Luck scrambling for yards was at least exciting for the oh yeah. Yep. But then the one thing was like last week against the Cowboys is one scramble wound up causing a fumble. He didn't secure the ball well enough. He was trying to scramble for I don't even know if he would have gotten. He might have been a yard or so short, but he was trying to scramble, trying to make something happen, trying to run for the first down. And he got hit and he fumbled the ball, and the Cowboys got it. And like 6 plays later, they scored a touchdown. But, you got to give the guy some credit there. Absolutely. He tries to make some things happen. So, got to give him some credit. But I mean, I was like, and the thing is here, it's like, Muasau and McFadden, they combined for 19 tackles. Frickin' McFadden, he's one of those guys like, sometimes he'll have a couple really good games and they have maybe a little bit of a stinker or whatever. He had 5 tackles for loss, especially at that one thing was toward the end of the game. It was like third and 3. Let me pop it up. Can I get it up here? I think it should show it. Right? End of the game. Is this it? Does this show it right here? 3rd and 2nd and 9, 4th and 18, 3rd and no, what? 2nd and 8? Yeah, maybe that's not it. McFadden had a nice tackle. Is this it? Oh, it was 3rd and 1. Yeah, 3rd and 1. The Saints at their and then of course then we wound up throwing an interception, but it was 3rd and 1. Okay, the Saints had the ball at the 39-yard line. They gave the ball to Miller. He ran to the left. McFadden diagnosed it perfectly. He found an alley. He shot the alley. He caught Miller in the back. He lost a yard on that one. I was like, whoa. I mean, McFadden. McFadden. He really does good sometimes. Let me tell you what. There are times he has problems missing tackles. Sometimes he's not quite as effective as he is in other games. But I mean, this game here. I mean, what did I say he had? He had 11 tackles and Muasau had 8. I mean. Yeah, I mean, very, very impressive. I was absolutely shocked. Now, we only had, 2 sacks? I mean, we had 13 tackles for loss. 13. Man, damn. We only had 4 quarterback hits, I think it was. 4 quarterback hits and 2 sacks. So who we got? Bresee and Kayvon. So 2 edge rushers got the sacks. So that's cool. So none of the defensive tackles got sacks, but we got to say who got. Bresee and Kayvon each had 2 quarterback hits. So basically, Bresee and Kayvon, those guys got the quarterback hits and the sacks. So we got nothing at all from our defensive, interior defensive linemen as far as, hits or anything like that. Now, I don't know, if you go to PFF, they, if they got to hurry or anything like that from our interior defensive linemen, but the quarterback hits and the sacks came from the edge rushers, so that's good. But tell you what, boy, I was very, very, very impressed. I mean, we've had a hard time stopping almost like anybody on the ground. I mean, we just gashed, right? What is this here? This is not us, right? I forgot how many. Let me pop it up here. I forgot how many yards per game the Giants were giving up on the ground. It's like 145 this season on the ground. I was going to show it. I'm not looking at the right stats here then. Kickoff return, rushing, receiving. Yeah. But it was like 145. Say it. Red zone down there. It says it somewhere. I'm just not picking it up right. But, I mean, we were giving up a ton of yards. And, of course, then, like, Nacho's not in there and Sexy's not in there. It's like, the problem is obviously, this week coming up, look for, I'd be shocked if we can continue to keep this streak up, especially because we got, let's see, obviously we got the Eagles coming up, right? Be interesting to see what the Eagles do because it's the last game of the season. The Eagles will probably have the division sewn up by then. Be interesting to see. Are they still in play for the home field advantage? Are they still in play for battling out who's a playoff position or anything like that? So it'd be interesting to see what the Eagles do the final game of the season. Do they rest some of their players? Do they put them in for half a game or what? That'd be interesting to see. But obviously, we're going up against quite possibly Saquon again, and then with the Ravens. So we got some juggernaut rushing offenses we're going up against, and if with Sexy not in there, I don't know if Nacho will be in there or not, and even if he is, I don't even know if he'll be 100% or not. But it would be fantastic if we can keep this up with the run defense because that absolutely is fantastic. But don't look for it to continue. I hope it does, but if the Ravens run all over us, I would not be surprised at all. And then we got finally, this is just like, obviously one of the things that just totally just killed us today. Just killed us. All right. The special teams and the penalties just, man, we had some points what was it? 10 points taken away, right? Because of penalties on the special teams. And not only that, but I think we had, what we had here? There was, against the Cowboys, we had 13 penalties for 98 yards. 13 penalties for 98 yards. And then this week, I thought it was 12. Team stats. Here we go. This is 12. Or was it 11? 12. So we've had 25 penalties in the last two games. 25 penalties. And it was for 210 yards in penalties we've had. I mean, the game before that, we only had, I think, 4 penalties. So that, okay. But, there's 25 penalties. You should easily be cutting that number in half. It would be a lot more. If we had 5, maybe 6, that's still a bit too much, but you can deal with that. 12 penalties. And obviously, of course, the 2 of them obviously wiped away. We wouldn't even needed Graham Gano's field goal at the end, right? Because we had the punt return got called back, right? So that's 7 points. Obviously, if Gano kicks the extra point, right, that's 7 points right there. We make a field goal, gets unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, that gets called back. So that's no good. So it's another 3 points, right? So that's 10 points the Giants lost. Oops, sorry, buddy. 10 points the Giants lost because of penalties. I mean, let's see. We had the field goal in the first half. So if we had those other 10 points, it would have been 14-13. So instead of scoring our first that one touchdown at the end and going for 2, right? If we scored a touchdown and go for 1, right? Now we're winning 20 to. And I know it's woulda, coulda, shoulda, and all that stuff and everything. I get it, but once again, it's just like every time. There's every week there's another reason why. A lot of times it's different reasons. Why did the Giants lose this week? It's like a play here, a play there, a penalty here, a penalty. It's just amazing because it's like out of every 4 plays that helps decide the game, 3 of them always go against the Giants. It's like. I got this article here from the Post, right? So we got special teams here, right? It talks about it from the Post. Let's say this is a hard one to believe. Graham Gano's 48-yard field goal was taken off the board when Jake Kubas was called for unnecessary roughness. I thought it was unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary roughness. This is even harder to believe. Gano's 35-yarder to send the game into overtime was blocked when a guy jumped over Kubas. Just incredible. Heads up on a failed Saints fake punt, which was true. So we did good. Did do good there, right? When Dane Belton and Anthony Johnson made the stop, but the killer was then Smith Marsette's. A 56-yard punt return for a touchdown was nullified by a holding penalty on Craig Stroman. Jamie Gillen's first punt was perfect. It traveled 47 yards and bounced out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So you got to give credit to the Hammer. But unfortunately, that was that long drive when they went 98 yards for the touchdown. And, of course, the coaching, Brian Dable calls the plays, and whatever he calls is usually fails. He has been unable to elevate the quarterback play on his team to an acceptable level. This is the one that kind of scratched my head here, obviously, with Dable. Not going for a 54-yard field goal try for Gano in the first quarter was a head-scratcher. So, those penalties, just sloppy play. Now, a lot of it is you got a lot of guys in, they're banged up. Maybe they haven't played much together or whatever, but that's still way too many penalties. And the problem is a lot of times with penalties, it's also like a turnover. If you turn the ball over, it's either, a lot of times it either does one or two things, right? It's either you turn it over in their half, which prevents you from scoring. So if you get down to the 40 or the 35 or something like that, right? And you turn it over, right? It maybe takes away a chance of you scoring at least 3 points. Or if you turn the ball over in your half, you might quite possibly be giving the other team points. So that's where, it's either or. But these penalties, directly, right, took away the 3-pointer from Gano, right? And of course, took away the punt return for a touchdown. Just a total killer. Even when we do, that's the difference between good teams and bad teams. Excuse me. When the Giants return a punt for a touchdown, it gets taken back for a penalty, right? And then at the end of the game, the Giants lose the game 14-11. When the Steelers return a punt back for a touchdown, it's good. It's a touchdown. And at the end of the game, the Steelers win 26-18 by that one touchdown because they're a good team. A Tomlin coach team is a well-coached team. He's never had a losing season. I mean, just a phenomenal head coach. He doesn't have Ben Roethlisberger anymore, and he just keeps churning out winning seasons. I mean, he won again today. I think they have 2 losses or 3 losses on the season. Phenomenal. You know what I mean? So when they return a punt for a touchdown, it's good. There's no penalty, and they wind up winning. When the Giants return a punt for a touchdown, it gets called back as a penalty, and we wind up losing. I mean, that's, you can say it's coaching. It is, but obviously the coaches aren't on the field. So it's just another nightmare season, another nightmare game, another nightmare season. And just, chances are we're probably going to wind up losing to the Ravens. Now we don't know. We're going to get blown out, or we're going to keep the game close. Don't know. The one nice thing for small consolation is now we're down to 2 teams now. Down to 2, right? There's the Raiders, right, and the Giants. Of course, once again, the Giants had some, I don't want to say luck on their side, but last week, right, when the Raiders were kind of in position to kick a game-winning field goal against the Chiefs, what happens? They fumble a snap and the Chiefs get the ball. That's that's the luck of the Chiefs. Once again, same thing happened tonight. Right? They had the ball. They were down by a point, but of course, Mahomes, you can bet your life on it. If he's down by 1 score and he has the ball, you can bet your life. Bet your children, your life, everything you've ever made, push it in the middle of the table. Mahomes is going to go down there and get some points, and that's what happens. Right? But I mean, the Raiders. I mean, it's just like last week. They were in a position, and they snapped the ball again to, I guess, run another play. The quarterback fumbles the ball, and the Chiefs wind up getting it. Right, but the one thing is that the Raiders and the Jaguars won, so now the Jaguars have 3 wins. So now the Jaguars, I think the Raiders, with the strength of schedule, they got the first pick. The Giants got the second pick. But in a couple weeks, I don't think it's this week. I think it's in 2 weeks. The Jaguars and the Raiders play each other. Right? I don't know if it's in Las Vegas or if it's in Jacksonville or not. But so you got the battle of the 2 toilet bowl teams in the AFC. Going to be fighting off against each other. So the Giants we got the 4 games left. Going to be, tough to beat the Eagles, right? Whether they rest their team or not. Tough to beat the Ravens. You got the Falcons and the Colts. So anything's possible. I'll have to wait and see. But we're down to 2 teams. What's going on there? Creative Solutions in the house. What's up, brother? Yeah, so now we're down to 2 teams. So they got the Giants are picking second, so we'll have to wait and see. So we got 4 games left to go in the season, 4 painful games left to go in the season, and then we get to look forward to the draft. All right, guys, it's been 1 hour and 13 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.